It's just a fun atmosphere, man. Good to get a win. Good to go into the bye in the position that we're in. We're leaking in some areas, and so, man, it's probably at an appropriate time. But to be honest with you, I've never had a bye that didn't seem like it didn't come at the appropriate time. Calvin Austin's got a shoulder. I think he's at the hospital being evaluated. Jalen Ramsey was in and out of the game with a hamstring. Brandon Echols had cramps. Slay got cleated. You know, we were leaking a little bit in the secondary coming into the game without Joey Porter. But such is life. Again, I'm just thankful to get the victory. I appreciate the fight of the guys. Certainly you want to finish that game off cleaner, man, so we got some get better ahead of us, but it's good to do that with a W. You know, we talked a lot about the late, great Ambassador Rooney last night. I know he's smiling at us today, man. It's just an honor, man, to fulfill his vision, to bring NFL football to Dublin, man, and been thinking about him a lot on a personal level, and so I'd be remiss if I didn't say that. I'll pause and open it up for questions.
And that wraps up week number 4 officially here in the NFL. The Pittsburgh Steelers find themselves officially in first place in the AFC North by a full game over the Cincinnati Bengals, who actually lost tonight in Denver to the Denver Broncos. They got crushed tonight in the Mile High City. You also seen the Browns got smashed up by the Detroit Lions, as well as the Ravens and the Kansas City losing to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Baltimore Ravens are now 1-3. Definitely a must win for both those teams right there, as you can imagine, going into that week with the loser being 1-3. Looks like the Kansas City Chiefs might be getting rolling right now to try and make a run. They also got some help in their own right, too, cutting into a game right now in the AFC West after losing to the Los Angeles Chargers to open up the season in Brazil. I am Charles the Prodigy Richey here on the Mount Steel podcast right now. We're going to wrap up last night's game and some of the key moments that stood out. And the Steelers, they'll be entering their bye this week right now. With that, their first ever win in the regular season overseas in the book right now. They now go to 1-1 with their last previous game being in London, where they lost to the same team, the Vikings, as they were wearing the road uniforms the last time. They were wearing their home jerseys this time around. Steelers, like I said, definitely some key notes that really stood out to me. And I'm going to just say this right now. Baltimore Ravens, I'm not ready to write their repertoire just yet. But for right now, for a team that's being 1-3, I still feel like they could still make somewhat of a run right now. I know it looks like it's panicking. All the fourth quarter blown leads, and the way John Harbaugh has been collapsing like miserably as of late in his coaching career. But that's just one guy I never want to discount. I mean, I always keep reminding myself of the 2018 year when the Steelers were, I believe it was 7-2-1, only finished out 2-4 to not only get into the playoffs by the wild card, which that option was off the table, but they lost the division. They let that slip away, and into the final week where the Ravens would beat the Browns in Cleveland. The Steelers did beat the Bengals in the final week, but they need a Ravens loss to get in the playoffs by winning their division. But here we are right now as we look at it. But like I said, particularly with John Harbaugh, he's been having a bad luck as of late with big leads where he is 0-10 with leads of at least like 10 points or more in his coaching career. That's another thing right now. I mean, the question is for a guy like John Harbaugh, who's actually helped develop Lamar Jackson into an MVP caliber quarterback right now, 2-time as a matter of fact, and bringing in with Tom Munkin, who's actually helped taking his passing game to the next level over the last 3 seasons. Just seems to be a little bit more questions, more particularly on their defense right now. And then you got to start to wonder, I mean, how much is Derrick Henry, is he being affected right now on this team? By the way, I mean, Derrick Henry, who's been having a shaky year, has been having the hiccups with controlling the ball as of late right now. And for this season, I mean, for this guy right here, I mean, who's like at age 31 right now, he's got 284 yards rushing. I mean, coming off a stellar year last year where he rushed for 1,921 yards, his second career high in his career. But I mean, the only problem is though he's been fumbling a lot as of late. He's fumbled three times this year, and you gotta really start to wonder. I mean, how much is that going to continue to be a concern uh, for them and this team right now, especially when you gotta close out games. I mean, a guy who's like supposed to help take a lot of pressure off Lamar Jackson, who could still make some of a deep run. I don't know. I'm not rolling them out. I'm not. I'm gonna still keep an eye on them. You still gotta handle business right now. It's only 4 weeks in right now. Steelers will be airing their bye this week. No games coming up. When they come out of their bye, like I said, once again, they'll be hosting the Cleveland Browns at Acrisure Stadium. That game will be on CBS and Paramount. And then, of course, 4 days later, they'll be taking on the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati at Paycor Stadium. And then following that game, uh, Rodgers will be facing his old team on Sunday Night Football at Acrisure Stadium, which would be a classic match right there, October 26th. And you saw that game right there. I thought that was definitely the game of the week right there. I mean, just a sickening reminder, which, by the way, too, I mean, ties. I mean, how we ever, last time we seen a tie in such a while, off the top of my head. I'm not really too much of a fan of this new overtime rule, and I was talking about this with someone earlier. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I don't think they should have made any changes. All they should have just left it alone for the playoffs. Because think about it. I mean, it's already when they cut the overtime period to 10 minutes, however long ago that was. Because think about it. If your team scores a touchdown, your team gets an opportunity to match with a touchdown to like tie the game, then next possession wins. Now remember, overtime rules, just as a reminder, like I said, it's like each team gets a chance to like possess the ball regardless of the outcome, with the exception that the opening drive, the team that possesses the ball, the opposing team that's playing defense, if they get a safety on that first drive on defense, game is over. But like I said, they score a touchdown before it would be over. The team who had the ball first, uh, that'd be game. That's not the case. The team will be able to match with a touchdown. And then after that, next possession wins. Or before, like I said, if it's like if the team doesn't score in their first possession, next possession wins basically. So I gotta tell you, that was definitely a clash of the Titans right there. Just too bad the Dallas Cowboys, they cannot play any defense whatsoever. They couldn't stop anyone to save their lives right there. I mean, Cowboys right there, they definitely proved a lot what they could do beyond Micah Parsons. But definitely, I mean, his presence has been felt a little bit. Only time will tell who's won that trade. But I tell you what, right there, in that game, in that first sample size right there, I mean, you didn't win, you didn't lose, but for the Cowboys, I mean, a lot of people were predicting a slaughter in that Sunday night game with Micah Parsons a return game to Dallas after the falling out with Jerry Jones, where they're trying to negotiate since I want to say like last year, including this past March, and just all because Jerry Jones did not want to deal with an agent. He was being prepared to arguably offer him the richest non-guaranteed money for a quarterback, which would have been slightly under $200 million right there. That was definitely the game of the week. But anyway, let's get back into the Steelers right here. They win this one in a wild finish. And here's what I mean right here, by the way. My concern is this. We seen this late in the season last year when the Steelers went to 10-3 after concluding back-to-back victories versus the Bengals in Cincinnati, and then of course versus the Browns at home in Pittsburgh. The problem was they had a 20-point lead I mean, I mean, with a late in that game, which is what really bothers me. And you look at that game versus Cleveland there. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was back on December 8th. If you look at it, like I said, they're up by 20 points. I mean, going into the fourth quarter, the Browns would actually score at about a little over 7 minutes, cut to 13 points. I mean, just think about that. They almost blew a 20-point lead with over 7 minutes left to go. Now, they held on to win by 13 points, but I mean, and you look at this week, you have an 18-point lead with over 11 minutes to play. And I mean, just like that, I mean, the Vikings, wow, I mean, they won like basically like a 15-0 run the remainder of that game, only to come up short right there. You saw Peyton Wilson right there, who definitely right now made a one of the fastest game-saving tackles right there. Who, according to Next Gen Stats, which Ray Filippo pointed out, he reached a top speed of 22.48 miles per hour on his chase down tackle of Jordan Addison, the fastest speed by a linebacker in Next Gen Stats era since 2016. So definitely a hero of the game right there for sure. I mean, who continues to keep getting better. I mean, when you think of like like the shirt I'm wearing right here, Blitzburg. I mean, it was just more than just getting at the quarterback. Yeah, I mean that was definitely the primary goal, but also just like stuff in the run and how you would send like blitz packages where your defensive lineman would drop back and allow guys to drop into the box where it's like your safeties or outside linebackers right there and help like send pressure after the quarterback right there. But like I said, that's just my biggest alarming concern about this game. Now, like I said, nearly blew a 20-point lead. I mean, in that game, they held up by 13 points for the Browns. I know it wasn't as close this time, but still, for this matter, I mean, they went on a 4-game losing streak, and that's the only thing I just want to make sure they snap out when they come off their bye. I mean, I can take this. That's fine. Get yourselves together right there, and we'll see how everything works out. Um, as we look at I'm gonna go ahead right now. Game balls right now for this game right now. Kenneth Gainwell, who filled in for running back Jalen Warren, who was limited all week in practice with a knee injury. Gainwell had 134 yards of scrimmage in that game, 19 rushes for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaging over 5.2 yards per attempt, and he also caught 6 balls for 35 yards in those categories right there. Steelers backup guard, they used us backup guard Spencer Anderson as an eligible sixth lineman at times, determined to open up the ground game against the Vikings. Even rookie Caleb Johnson got in the act. He only ran 6 times for 22 yards, but last week wasn't able to play at all in the wake of his kick return gaffe against the Seahawks. And I really want to see right now because I'm not really too sold. Like I said, I don't feel like Warren is that guy to be like the lead dog in the running back game. I think if anything, he's a more of a good like number two guy that could come in like a pickup behind the top runner right now. Be interesting to see right now as time goes on. Will Kenneth Gainwell, who actually filled in like nicely, can he keep this up? Will he possibly at some point be able to like go into the starting lineup? I mean, the Steelers they did acquire. I mean, Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, this past off season, as we look at it right here, Kenneth Gainwell, who came from the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles last season, and he's here in the black and gold right now in the Pittsburgh Steelers, who signed a 1-year contract with the Steelers as a free agent. And before like the start of the regular season on September 2nd, he was named the team's backup running back behind Jalen Warren and the team's kick return specialist. But yeah, I really just out of curiosity, will we see a little bit of a shakeup or a little bit of a slight change here at the running game or experiment as time moves on. Also, I felt like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he did a like some of a solid job here in this game. I mean, taking care of the ball, not able to pass consistently, but just trying to do what he does best, protecting that ball. I mean, he's got a little bit like hiccups this year so far. I mean, still in this game through a touchdown with one interception, but the only problem is he's being sacked once again this season. And Aaron Rodgers right now, I want to say for him for this year when we recap it, I mean he has been sacked this season alone 9 times for 64 yards. Gotta find a way. I'm sure that's gonna be bulletin board material once they get back to practicing during their bye week right now. But still, for right there, I thought other than that, it was decent. I mean, the Steelers enjoyed playing in front of the crowd at Ireland right there for the most part. Even right now, Cam Hayward saying was I know all those fans just want to be standing the whole time when they were playing Zombie, just watching everybody so into that. That was really fun. Everybody was into every song. You could just feel the energy behind everybody there. I don't know if it could matter if you were a Steelers fan or a Viking fan. That crowd was electric today. Now, the Steelers, they did deal with some bumps and bruises all game, but maybe none worse than number two wide receiver, Kelvin Austin III, who left with a shoulder injury in the third quarter and never returned. Austin did go to the hospital for further evaluation, according to Coach Mike Tomlin and Jalen Ramsey, but didn't return because of a hamstring issue. Now, DK Metcalf's 80-yard catch and run touchdown, he wanted to heap much more credit on Austin's effort in downfield blocking than his own athleticism. But let's go ahead and get into the biggest story that was looming large. I heard like after the game before this happened at Friday midnight hours. Skylar Thompson he got jumped and robbed by a group of men of males at 2:30 a.m. In the Dame Street area in the Temple Bar, according to the Irish Times, and no, his phone was stolen. Now they were saying that Thompson he was in sweats and with the team for the game with no noticeable injuries Sunday, though the incident threw the whole team for a loop. Now, Troy Falatano added that players were not allowed to leave their hotel the next night to go into the city about 40 minutes away and were shut down in the wake of the situation with Thompson. Now, Falatano did not want to speak for Thompson, who's on injury reserve and not required to be available to reports. He believes the number three quarterback is doing fine. All players were impressed by the fan atmosphere despite all that. But still, I mean, yeah, I mean, when you go travel overseas right now, as much as the NFL wants to make this global game regularly, I mean, trying to have more games, which Roger Goodell stated he wants more throughout the season. I want to say up to 16 games, like per year. I mean, still, this is just one of the things. Yeah, like it's still just like anywhere else. Just the travel concerns right there. I mean, the safety of the players, though, too. Not just like during the game, but I mean, just like in these crowds right now when you got all the chaos that's happening worldwide right here. But I mean, for the Steelers right now, I mean, this game, I mean, just doing this game out here in this country. I mean, you gotta imagine Dan Rooney and his family are smiling down from above. Uh, Pretty much done everybody proud right now. But like I said, I really for right now, I mean, I'm really getting concerned like how this team is like closing out, where it's like drives, or especially like big time leads these days. And just I felt like just watching this game. I mean, we saw a lot more like a great blocking in this game right here. I mean, still, I mean, right now. I mean, you gotta give some credit. I mean, give some love. I mean, to this offensive line right now, as far as like on the run game. I mean, the passing game may still have pass protection may still have a little bit ways to go. I mean, offensively too. I mean, you really look at it too, like Troy Falatano, and then of course right there. I mean, you got Mason McCormick. They're not doing bad. I feel like Zach Frazier, like earlier in the game, he gave up. He really got like seemingly got bullied around like earlier. I mean, when he just got bum rushed and for like a easy sack on Aaron Rodgers to open up. Now, my other beef with this game too, which really bothered me the way they were doing this too. Yeah, a couple like crucial like decisions right here too. Number one, I mean, let's go ahead and face it right there. When they were at fourth and goal in this game, versus the Minnesota Vikings, I mean, like Mike Tom was gonna pull him off the field and have him go kick a field goal, which would pull him up by 13 points. But instead, the Steelers, I mean, Aaron Rodgers and the players were able to get their way and have it convinced. Uh, and this is where Spencer Anderson he reported in his eligible. Kenneth Gainwell, excuse me, left guard, went to the Minnesota for only 2 yards right there. I mean, at the Minnesota 3 yard line. I just felt like right there too. I mean, when you're in a situation like that, yeah, I mean, I can understand like I mean, if you don't get it in, you got them deeper in their own end zone where you could possibly maybe get away with pulling off a safety a point on the turnover in a way. But right there, I would just on a quick screen, just a quick screen, and just like have it make it easier to score right there. Now, the other thing I did not like in this game too. I mean, you look at like a few drives earlier too, where they were able to, or the previous drive, I should say, excuse me, where they had a monstrous pass for Carson Wentz right there too. Hold on, excuse me. Trying to find this. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong drive, but excuse me. I had this one confused. Excuse me, folks. Yeah. So at 3:25 left to go in the game, Carson Wentz though too. This is shortly after the Steelers like got stopped 4 and out, and the Vikings were able to answer with another touchdown to cut the 10 point lead down to three. I did not agree with dropping guys in the blitz, blitzing on this play right here, and this turned into a huge play for Carson Wentz and the Minnesota Vikings right here, where Carson Wentz from their own 18-yard line uh, threw an 81-yard strike to Jordan Addison. I mean, still, and this is where we're talking about like with Peyton Wilson just basically saving a touchdown uh, on here, but still, I really like just get that was not necessary. I mean, Blitzberg, I just gotta say at this point that name should be eventually be retired. I mean, just be honored with Dick LeBeau. I think at some point too, we really need to consider like a scheme change. I'm not sure it's a 3-4. I mean, should they look into something else? Maybe like a 4-3. I don't know, but I'm just for a guy who's very defensive savvy and Mike Tomlin who's very aggressive with calling plays on that side more than anything. I just did not sure if that was the right call. I felt like this game right here had the makings the way it was a slow shakeup. Don't get me wrong, earlier on, but as time wound on, they were able to find rhythm. And it's just right now, unfortunately, as Mike Tomlin is their coach, they play too obvious and play too simple, where teams pick up on them a little bit more, and it's just not really like sustainable. And I just don't want to see this team back in the same situation. I'm really having doubts. Like, is Aaron Rodgers going to really get this team a playoff win or two? I mean, Super Bowl run. I mean, that's definitely like a pipe dream at this point. But I mean, just even just bring him here, just to say that he got us here to win a playoff game or two, for their moral victory. I mean, just at least have that. I don't know. But I do know this right now. They definitely be looking at a new see if they could try to acquire new wide receiver like through like the trade deadline, which be coming up here uh, at November, which will end on November 5th at 4 p.m. Eastern right now. Tyreek Hill, who's actually playing tonight, the Dolphins got on the board with their first victory of the season, but came with a heavy cost right there. He got carted off with a horrific leg injury, where his leg got bent in the wrong direction after he's tackled along the sideline during Monday night's game. It turned out to be a dislocated knee, according to Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel. Happened early in the third quarter after Tua found Hill for a 10-yard pass along the sideline. Just safety Moore grabbed him by the left leg to tackle him, and the leg twisted into an unnatural position. He had been taken to a local hospital for imaging, evaluation, and observation. The team had said, and McDaniel indicated that he would remain there overnight. Medical personnel had immediately rushed to Hillside as they stabilized his leg and carted him off the field at Hard Rock Stadium during the third quarter incident of Monday's 27-21 Dolphins win over the Jets. Feel free to let me know how you feel in my YouTube channel here, Mass Steel Podcast. Right now, feel free to hit that like, subscribe. Definitely trying to be posting up some more videos coming up right now. But the Steelers go into the bye this week with first place to enjoy for this week. And then we go into week number 5. While the Steelers will be on their bye week, their AFC North comrades, the Browns will be hosting the Vikings in London, or excuse no, yeah, in London. That'll be on NFL Network right there. Then, of course, you'll be having also, let's see, Baltimore Ravens. They'll be trying to snap out of their two-game losing streak right now. We look at it as they'll be trying to be a battle one of 3 teams hosting the Houston Texans, by the way, who's trying to be the first team to make it into the playoffs since the 7 seed format was added. Brett Musburger, who actually made a return to celebrate the 50-year anniversary of the NFL Today on CBS, which I love. I still cannot get out of my hand. He noted that since this format began, no team who has started off 0-3 has made the playoffs yet. We'll see if the Houston Texans can be one of those teams to do that. And then you also got the Cincinnati Bengals too. Later on that afternoon, they'll be hosting the Detroit Lions. That game will be on Fox, while the Ravens Texans will be on CBS, and the Browns being the home team versus the Minnesota Vikings in London at Tottenham Stadium on NFL Network. 9:30 a.m. Eastern kickoff, and then of course, like I said, 1 o'clock for the Ravens Texans, and then of course 4:25 for the Bengals Lions. That's going to do it for this edition here of the Mouse Steel Podcast, and of course, Show Blitz for wrapping up the post game of the victorious Steelers over the Minnesota Vikings. Once again, they're Kings of the North for this weekend, and we'll see what happens. You can follow me on X once again at Mouse Steel CGR and on Instagram at Mouse Steel Nation. As I leave you, don't be trolling, be rolling. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. I gone. Thank you for watching the Mouse Steel Podcast with your host Charles Prodigy Richey here on YouTube. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button, and for all the latest Mouse Steel Podcasts episodes, feel free to download them on Mixcloud, Anchor.fm, and SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcasts.